Well, obviously I know your name, but go ahead and introduce yourself. Say your name for me.
My name is Ferzan Ahmed. That's Ferzan Ahmed.
So, Ferzan, what was the goal with this new tolling system?
Well, we got to go back to uh, 2016 when we did an evaluation of the existing toll collection system. These are extremely complicated components of electronics as well as software, and they typically are good for 10 to 12 years, and then it's time to upgrade, no different from a computer system in a company or in a business. And when you start upgrading, you also start looking at things like the available technology and the expectation of customers. And the trend that we have seen in not only in the United States but all over the world is as much gateless tolling as possible. There are basically three different ways of doing toll collections. One is the system that we used to have before we changed to our new system. And for lack of a better term, we call it a gated system. Why? It's got gates. You don't get in unless you go through a gate. You don't get out unless you go through a gate. It is a very easy and convenient system, but everybody's stopping at a gate, so it takes time. It's longer. And it also, the more people stop on the highway, it also creates some unsafe situations every now and then. So the trend in modern tolling systems is to get rid of the gates and make it gateless travel. The second option that a lot of people use, and states like New Jersey and Illinois and Pennsylvania come to mind, is what is called all electronic tolling. That means there are no gates, no toll collectors, and people get invoiced either through their credit card, through their Easy Pass, or through their license plates. The third system is a combination of both systems, and that's what we call an open road tolling system, and that's the one we have. The reason why we adopted the open road tolling system is because about 65% of our customers use an Easy Pass, which means 35% of our customers prefer to use cash or credit, though we have seen the number of Easy Pass customers keep going up. With such a large number of people still preferring to use cash or credit, our system of going open road tolling was better than all electronic tolling. That's why we chose this system. So now we've got an open road tolling system. It's got to be designed, it's got to be implemented. We have a very large system, 241 miles all the way from Indiana to Pennsylvania. And as it was implemented slowly, we were very careful about when we would go live. Summer is not a good time for us to go live. That is the busiest travel season. Winter can be tricky as well because we don't control the weather. And if you are trying to finish up construction, trying to implement new technology in the middle of winter storms, things can go wrong. So April worked out very well for us in terms of our planning, and we decided to go live in April with our new system. Now, as I mentioned, 65% of our customers use Easy Passes, and it's very easy for us to communicate with them because when you have an Easy Pass account with us, we know who you are. We have a way of contacting you through email. And over a period of several months, we communicated with our customers what the changes would be when the new system goes live. The problem arises, well, how do we reach the other 35% of our customers with whom we have no contact? Many of those customers ride the Turnpike quite frequently, and they may become familiar with something we might post on social media or a press release that we might issue. But many of those customers are passing through, or many of those customers are people who are not using the Turnpike frequently. So they are not used to the new system. We used conventional wisdom, which is put out social media tweets, put out social media bulletins about what the new system is going to be like, and issue press releases. And we thought that we had done a pretty good job of reaching those people. Once we went live, 30 days into the system, once we started invoicing, that's when we realized that our effort was not good enough. reaching people that we know is easy, and we did. But how do we reach the people that we don't know? And therein lies the challenge. We don't know who they are, so how do we reach them? And the only way to do that would be through a very robust publicity or media campaign. As I mentioned, we thought we had done it, but the results show that our effort was not good enough. So the right thing for us to do right now is to figure out how we can take care of our customers who may have received invoices that are of maximum fare, or who may have gone through an Easy Pass lane because they didn't know when to go to the non-Easy Pass lane. But for whatever reason, they now have an invoice that they feel is not accurate, and they are trying to reach us. Percentage-wise, it's a low percentage. It's about 2.6% of people across the turnpike, but in numbers, because we are a large system, that's a very big number. Obviously, our customers are unhappy. And I realize that. I get that. And it bothers me. It bothers me that such a large number of our customers are unhappy because they can't reach us. And they can't reach us because they're trying to call. We have increased the number of customer service representatives in our call center, but we can't just go and hire a lot of people. We are very stringent. We are very careful about the people that we bring into our customer service center. They're dealing with sensitive information. We want people with a certain level of emotional intelligence. We want people with a certain level of empathy. And I'm very proud to tell you that whereas our customers, unfortunately, have had to wait a very long period of time on the phone and may have to call back again and again, not a single customer has said that once they reached a customer service representative, their experience was anything but pleasant. We are very happy about that, but now we need to do something so that our customers don't have to wait for hours to reach us. That's not right. It's not right to them. It's not fair to them. They have lives. They have things to do. I'm very appreciative of the fact that the customers are picking up the phone and calling us when they get the invoice because they want to do the right thing. We are a public agency. We are a state agency, but we are not a tax subsidized agency. We are running a business. The Ohio Turnpike is one of the safest roads in the country in terms of being an interstate. It is the highest volume of freight. The highest volume of freight in Ohio goes through the Ohio Turnpike. It is one of the 4 highest freight volume roads in the United States of America. The things that we buy at the store goes through the Ohio Turnpike. We provide a very valuable service. And in order for us to provide that service with the high level of quality, smooth roads, smooth bridges, great service plazas, great amenities, we are running a business. So I deeply appreciate the fact that our customers pick up the phone and call us because they want to pay their tolls. They want to pay the fare. And I am not happy at all that they have to wait for hours. I don't want them to wait for hours. That's not fair. It's not fair to them. So what I want them to do, what I want the customers to do is continue doing what you're doing. Pick up the phone and call us. But if the wait time is unacceptable to you, hang up. Don't stay on the phone. Don't disrupt your life. Please go online. When you go online, there is a feature that allows you to send us an email through which you can communicate your concern to us. Whether the bill is a max fare, but it shouldn't be a max fare because you didn't enter at the beginning, the bill is incorrect, or whatever your concern is. It doesn't matter whatever your concern is, reach out to us via email. We will reach back to you. Our customers want to reach us as soon as they can because they are concerned that if they don't, fees will be tacked on. Collections will start. After all, it's a bill, right? If you don't pay a bill that goes to collections. Well, we know that we have a problem. We know we have a problem with people waiting for hours, and that's unacceptable. So until we get this figured out, until we are at a steady state, which means, for me, steady state is how things were before we went live. The wait times, the call volumes, the amount of time a customer has to wait online, the number of people calling us, that's what I call steady state. Until we get to that point, we are suspending all fees, we are suspending all collections. So please continue to do what you're doing. You guys are doing the right thing. You are reaching us, but don't wait on the line. get online and don't wait on the phone for hours. Get online and send us an email. We will get back to you. It may take us a day, it may take us a week, it may take us 2 weeks, but however long it takes us, please rest assured there are no fees that are going to be tacked on, and no, there are going to be no collections until we get this sorted out. I estimate that it will take us 60 days to get caught up and to reach our customers and for our customers to get used to the new system. But if it takes longer, we're going to extend that period. Taking care of our customers is important to me. As I mentioned, we don't get tax dollars. This is the business we are running, and our business depends on our customers, and our business depends on customers who are happy with us. Our customers have historically been very happy with us. I want them to be happy with us again, and we're going to do whatever we need to do to make sure that they're happy with us again.
So you said that it wasn't good enough. You guys thought it was going to be good enough, but it wasn't good enough. So whose fault is that?
Well, that's our fault. The buck stops with me. I approve all the plans. I approve the plans that we are going to put out a press release. I approve the plans that we are going to get on social media and do Twitter. Well, I've learned a lesson. If we ever have to do this again, perhaps we'll hire a marketing company, perhaps we'll hire a media company to launch an aggressive media campaign 6 months ahead of time. I can't go back in time. But I realize that our effort was not good enough. We're going to do what we need to do to fix it.
So right now, when people do have these long wait times, can you just hire, well, let's just hire 500 more customer service people? Is that a possibility, or what's the solution there?
Look, anything can be done, but you got to do the right thing. And you know, in a minute you're going to talk to, or in a little bit you're going to talk to one of my colleagues who runs our customer service center, and you're going to hear from her what kind of people work for us as far as our customer people. They're some of the best people that work for the Ohio Turnpike. I want our people to be well trained so that they know exactly how to solve the customer's problems. And I want them to be nice people who understand that they're dealing with someone. People are not calling us because they feel like talking to us. They're calling us because they've got an issue. And when they've got an issue, they're upset. When they're upset, we have to show them the respect that they deserve. We have to show them the kindness that they deserve and spend time with them. So, not only do I have to hire the right people, but I have to train them the right way, and that takes time. Yes, I could go and hire 100 people, but I don't want to do that. I would rather hire the right people, the right number of people, train them the right way, but extend the time period so that we have more time to solve these issues. I want to focus on quality, not just a huge number of huge quantity, because that might create other issues.
So how do we get the message out? How do you get the message out to people that, hey, if you don't have an easy pass, this is what you need to do?
One of the things that we have talked about is being a little bit more aggressive with our campaigns on social media, but also paid advertising. So we're going to do, and the example I'm going to use is if there's a sale going on at Kohl's or at Walmart, everybody knows it's going on. It doesn't matter whether you live in Ohio or Michigan or Alaska. You know there's a sale going on because they've done a heck of a good job of advertising that. Well, we are not going to advertise in Alaska, but at either ends of the turnpike, because a lot of the issues that we are seeing are at the new plazas that we have built at Swanton and Kunkel on the west side of the turnpike, and at Newton Falls and Niles on the east side of the turnpike. So those media markets are the Toledo and Youngstown media markets, and then immediately into Indiana and immediately into Pennsylvania. So we are going to advertise. We're going to do paid advertising in newspapers, radio, and TV. That is the least we can do. It's our obligation to try and reach our customers. So what are we trying to do with this? We're trying to reach the people that we don't know who they are. So let's do a mass campaign so that anyone's on the radio, anyone's on TV. Aha, there's a change at the Ohio Turnpike. This is how I navigate the turnpike. I think if we do that, it will be a much better effort than what we have done in the past, and it will allow us to reach more people.
So before the system went live back in April, you had to test the equipment to make sure it worked. And part of that was license plate recognition software. So tell me about the testing, what you guys did before this went live.
So there are different components of the toll collection system. For example, there's a camera. There's cameras all over the place. There's something known as a LiDAR. There are loop detectors. There are all kinds of different sensors that measure different parts of a vehicle. They measure the height of a vehicle. They read the number of axles on a vehicle. So before each plaza went live, we conducted several nights of testing. We do this at night because of traffic issues. Then the traffic volumes are low at night, and we are able to close lanes and do it. And we would run different types of vehicles through, and then see how the system is working. So the various components, there is no technology that is foolproof in the world, not today. I've had a cell phone for about 30 years. Cell phone technology has been around 40 years. Even today, driving down the road, your cell phone drops off. So 100% on technology is not possible. So you find what's reasonable, and what we do is we look at the industry, we look at all the other toll roads, all the other systems, and how systems perform and what the optimum performance is for this type of system. In the toll collection world, the optimum performance ranges anywhere from 99% to 99.8%, depending on the component. So some components, if they are working at a minimum of 99%, then that's optimal performance. Some components, if they are working at a minimum of 99.8%, that's optimal performance. At each plaza, we tested all these components to make sure that we were performing above those levels, and before we went live. Since we have gone live, we have been measuring, and I'll mention one component to you, and that is the EasyPass readers. So on the EasyPass readers, we have had about 15.3 million EasyPass reads since we went live. That is April 4th through August 10th. So 15.3 million. And of those 15.3 million, 99.3% were read successfully. That means about 0.7% were not read successfully. And there are many reasons for that 0.7% to not be read. Now again, that's a small percentage, and it's within tolerances, but for a big system like ours, that 0.7 is a large number of customers. There are many reasons for that. Maybe the battery is dead or low. Maybe the system misread, as I said, technology is not foolproof. Severe weather can affect how technology is being read. Vehicle movements can affect how technology is being read, and let me give you one example. There are various points on the turnpike that have detection systems. So if you go across the turnpike all the way from one end to the other, if you're going eastbound, there will be 2 detection points. If you're going westbound, there will be 3 detection points. And those detection points are gantries. You're going at 70 miles an hour. Unless you know exactly everything about the Ohio Turnpike, you might not know where that gantry is. And if your EasyPass is not mounted, but in the glove compartment or on the dashboard, it's not going to get read. There are people who prefer not to mount their EasyPass, and they'll pick it up and they'll wave it. I can understand that. I respect your choice. But let me explain how the technology works. If you are waving that at a gate at 10 miles an hour, it's probably going to be okay. But when you're driving 70 miles down the road and there are cars next to you, unless you know exactly where to wave it, it's probably not going to get read. And to be honest with you, we don't want you to do that. That's unsafe. We don't want you to be looking for an EasyPass and waving it at highway speeds 70 or higher. People do drive higher here with other vehicles right next to you. So the best option is to mount it. If that happens, that 0.7% is going to go down way more. And that's our hope. We want to get that message out to our customers. Some customers have said to us that what we are not taking into account is that certain modern cars have technology under the rear view mirror, and that it is not possible to mount the EasyPass right there. I understand that. We have tested various vehicles. The vehicle that I drive for my work here is a Ford SUV, and it's about a year old. and that technology does exist under the rearview mirror. I don't know what that is. I'm not that good at with car technology. Perhaps it's a sensor, perhaps it's an antenna, but I mounted my EasyPass under it. Now, in my personal vehicle, which I use for my personal work, my personal travel, and not for the Ohio Turnpike, I also have an EasyPass, and I did the same thing. I mounted it under the shaded area that reflects the technology under the rearview mirror. I've never had a problem, not in Ohio, not in any of the other states. The problem with waving is, how steady is your hand? We have seen those memes of that Turkish guy at the Olympics who was shooting and he won. Perhaps he's foolproof. I can tell you I'm not. My hand will shake. You have to mount that EasyPass. Now, as far as the customers who are saying that it doesn't work for every vehicle, we have reached out. Listening to those customers, we recently reached out to Capsh. Capsh is the company that makes EasyPasses. It's worldwide. And they have provided us some information that might be useful for specialty vehicles. You know, perhaps it's a sports car, perhaps it's some sort of a fancy car where you cannot mount it there. So there are other ways of mounting it, perhaps to the left corner or the right corner. But we're going to make a video and share that information. But I have to impress upon our customers, nothing is as efficient as mounting your EasyPass. It is steady, it is right there, it will be read.
So when you went through the testing process, as far as license plate recognition, did you have an issue with the equipment properly reading license plates?
There will always be issues, and as I mentioned, that we look for the success rate within those parameters, whether it's 99% or 99.8%, depending on what it might be for a license. It might be 99.5% for a license plate reader. So they don't go into production mode until they have been calibrated and adjusted so that we are getting at least that standard of performance.
And your provider, as far as license plate recognition, is it Conduent?
Yes. So toll collection systems are very sophisticated, and there's just a handful of companies, perhaps 5 or 6 companies in the world, not just in the USA, who install toll collection systems. Of those 7 or 8, and you know, I've been in this industry for a number of years, and I know most of those people, and I don't want my friends to get upset with me, but there are 3 that are the biggest and the most experienced, and one of them is Conduent. Conduent has installed toll collection systems in different parts of the United States and in other countries, in South America, in Europe, and I think they're also venturing into Asia. So many of the systems that Conduent installs are either theirs or the vendors that work with them in terms of the complete system. The complete, it's not one thing. A toll collection system is made up of a very large number of physical equipment as well as software. So they are the integrators. That's why we call them integrators. They take all of that technology and put it together, and they do this worldwide. The second part of that system is what we call the back office system. So when all the information from the road comes to this building, it has to be processed. As in, it has to be assigned to an EasyPass or to an account or to an invoice if there is no EasyPass. That is what we call a back office system. The provider of that system is called TransCore. They are also one of those 3 highest that I talked about.
The reason I asked you about Conduent, I don't know if you're aware, but the BBC recently did a large investigation into Conduent and what they're having in their toll-free, or their the toll system over there, is that Conduent's equipment wasn't recognizing license plates. There were people getting tickets who have never been on that roadway, but it was misreading it. And I don't know if you're are you aware of that investigation?
I'm not aware of them. But as far as anomalies with the system, you know, unfortunately things like that happen with every system. I'm not going to mention the name, and I'm not going to mention the agency out of respect for those people. But recently, a very well-known person in Ohio reached out to me because they received an invoice from another agency, and the license plate belonged to a golf cart that the person owns on an island. I had a good joke with that person. I said, so are you telling me you have not been driving your golf cart on the interstate? He said, no, I've not been driving the golf cart on the interstate. So we reached out to that agency, and what happened was that different states, so whatever your license plate number in Ohio is, there might be the same number in another state, things like that. So perhaps it's at night, perhaps there's a glare, perhaps the license plate is dirty, but whatever the reason is, the picture was not so crisp, and then somebody had to interpret that, and the interpretation came up with a plate number that corresponded to a well-known person's golf cart. And obviously, we got that waived because we showed the evidence. So I don't know what the issues are, but these types of issues, unfortunately, as I mentioned, technology is not foolproof. This morning I was driving on I-77 on my way to work, talking on the phone, and the car dropped off. And cell phone's been around. My cell phone, I've had my cell phone for 30 years. Technology has been around for 40 years or more. Still happens. So there are going to be issues with technology, unfortunately, and that's why there is no technology out there that's 100% foolproof. That's why we assign certain percentages that are acceptable based on experience, based on how it has performed, and based on recommendations of manufacturers and industry experts.
But you're confident in the equipment that the Ohio Turnpike is currently using?
Yes, I am confident in saying that the equipment that we are using is performing to the expectations that we have laid out. So as I mentioned, the example I gave you is that from when we went live to August 10th, 99.3% of the Easy Passes have been read accurately. I want that number to be 99.8 or 99. In an ideal world, would I like that to be 100%? That's not going to happen. Something will always go wrong. But I would like for that number to be 99.6, 99.7. And if we can reach our customers who are waiving the Easy Pass and get them to mount it, I feel very comfortable that we'll get to 99.6 or 99.7.
So let me ask you this question, and this was based off the 257,000 number. Obviously, we've broken it down here differently. But when I initially saw that number, and many of those people are getting charged $19.25. Some of them got through to customer service, and it was waived, it was fixed, whatever. But many people told us that, we couldn't get through, we got frustrated, we didn't want the late fees, we just paid it. And it should have been like a $2.50 fare because I was only on there for like 5 miles. And so some people said this is a money-making venture by the Ohio Turnpike because that 257, 1925, roughly $5 million, when they really should have collected about $1 million probably in fares, or 1.5, something like that. So what do you say when people are like, it's just a money-making venture. They just made $5 million.
Not at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is not a money-making. I want those people to call me. I want those people to reach out to me. As you said, when people were successful in reaching out to us, when they said to us, that is not where I entered the Turnpike, we adjusted them. We did not argue with a single person. Every person. The issue is, going back to the same thing, even though the percentages are low, there were so many people that they just got fed up and said, I'm just going to pay this. I'm so sorry you had to do that. I wish that were not the case. But I want those people to reach out to us. And don't get on the phone because so many other people are calling us. I don't want you to wait 2 hours. Send us a letter or get online, get on the online feature and go ahead and put that information in. We will take care of our customers. Look, we have to run an organization where we are collecting enough revenue to provide the very valuable service that we provide. Toll rates are established based on keeping the condition of the Ohio Turnpike to a certain level. The road has to be smooth to a certain level. Bridges have to be smooth to a certain level. Everything here was built in 1955. We're old. What happens when we get old? We got to start getting replacements, new knees and new shoulders, right? So that's what we are doing. We are replacing pavement. We're replacing the bridges. All that costs. So based on that, we have toll rates. Our rates are still cheaper than 6 or 7 states around us. Even though we had rate increases back in January, we are still cheaper than 6 or 7 toll roads around us. This is not a money-making scheme, or we would have raised our toll rates to a higher value, because we could, because we are so cheap compared to others. I feel really bad. Even if one customer paid more than what they should have, I feel really bad about that. I understand the frustration that they just got fed up and said, I'm just going to pay this and get it out of the way. Reach out to us. We'll fix it for you.
Are you seeing progress at this point? Are people getting educated? Are you reaching them? Are you seeing progress, numbers going down?
Yesterday I spoke to one of our customer service representative, and I said, you don't look quite as stressed as you looked yesterday. What's going on? He says the number is going down a little bit. I said, I'm happy to hear that. I am seeing progress. We have a lot more work to do. We have a lot more work to do, which is why we can't instantly reach everyone. Because we don't know who those people are. So we have to have this systematic, methodical way, intentional way of trying to figure out how to reach those people. As I said, we'll have to do a paid media campaign. But until that happens, we're going to give everybody time. So yes, if you get an invoice and if you feel that that is not accurate, if you get a max fare invoice, and I also want to talk about why people get max fares, but if you get a max fare invoice and it should not be that, don't pay it out of frustration. Let us know. And don't worry, it's not going to go to collections. More fees are not going to be added. If we can't get back to you in a week, we'll get back to you in 2 weeks. If we can't get back to you in 2 weeks, we'll get back to you in 3 weeks. But we are going to take care of every customer who feels that the invoice is not right. We will take care of it. Now, I want to talk about max fares. So I have a chart here that shows how we are trying to notify people that they need to veer right. If they don't have an easy pass, they need to veer right and go to the side where they can take a ticket. You did a Zoom call with several customers. I actually watched that, and I learned something from it. There was one gentleman who said, I was in the left lane, and the sign is over there. I'm not going to go across 3 lanes. Bravo. You did the right thing, sir. You did the right thing. I don't want you to go across 3 lanes like that because that's unsafe. That's the problem. So now we got to get, that gentleman is probably someone who does not use the turnpike on a regular basis. So he didn't know that something has changed. So now we got to get this to them. Now, how did he get a max fare? Since we are talking about the gentleman, let's talk about them. If he got a max fare, what happened? Since he did not take an entry ticket, at some point he exited the turnpike. We have no way of knowing where he entered the turnpike since there's no ticket. There's no entry ticket associated with that. The system generates a max fare. How do we handle something like that? The only way to handle something like that is to get as many people as possible to understand how the Ohio Turnpike works. There will always be new customers at the Ohio Turnpike. It will never go to 0. That number will never go to 0. But I guess what we will do is we got to figure out how to make people understand that if that fare is not accurate, you call us and you let us know. If we write that on it, perhaps we can write that on an invoice. I think that's already on the invoice, but maybe we can make it more clear. We will always have new customers. So for our existing customers, we got to do a better job of teaching them how to use the turnpike, how to use the new configuration on the turnpike. And then for our new customers, we just need to keep giving that message, and maybe that message goes out with the invoice. If this is not accurate, you probably did not take a ticket. If it's not accurate, here's how you get that adjusted. So that's going to be an ongoing effort, and I think we'll continue that.
So knowing what you know now, and you can't go back in time, obviously, but what do you wish had been different on April 10th? What should you have done differently back then?
Not on April 10th. It would have been 6 months prior to that. That would have been an aggressive media campaign.
Any final statement? Anything we didn't talk about that you want to discuss?
I want our people to, the Ohio Turnpike's been around since 1955, and it's my privilege to work here with a lot of very good people. And everywhere I go and I talk to people, they tell me, we are really thankful for the Ohio Turnpike. We are really grateful for the Ohio Turnpike. It's the connection between Indiana and Pennsylvania on the northern side of Ohio. We go through 13 counties, and if you take Toledo, Youngstown, and Cleveland out of the equation, we go through a lot of small towns and smaller rural counties. In many of the counties, the economic driver is the Ohio Turnpike. The activity from the Ohio Turnpike, for some counties, is one of the largest contributors of the sales tax. And I'm sharing that because of how important we are to the economy of Ohio. And the people in Ohio have always seen the Ohio Turnpike as that, especially in northern Ohio, that this is a great asset for all of us. Keep thinking that. That hasn't changed. We are still the same Ohio Turnpike. We are still that connection from point A to point B. During COVID, we used to get phone calls from people. I want to see my family. We don't want to visit their house. They don't want to visit our house. Can we meet at one of the service plazas at the Ohio Turnpike? We are still that agency that brings people together. We take pride in providing our not only customer service, but the conditions. It's sunny outside, it's nice, it's summer. We do have winters in Ohio, right? We do have snow and ice in Ohio. And everybody tells me when I talk to people, whether it's truck drivers, the average driver, whether it's someone going with their family on a vacation, whether it's a commuter, a business person, or a legislator, they say, when it's snowing, I take the Ohio Turnpike because I know it's going to be clean. Now, I have been in this business for 32 years in transportation and infrastructure, and I can tell you that we are the only entity in Ohio where we have a target that the moment it stops snowing, when it's snowing, the road is not going to be cleared. They clear it, more snow comes. So in this industry, how you measure is when the event ends, how soon before the pavement is wet again. Wet means all the snow is gone. 1 hour at the Ohio Turnpike. There is no public agency in the state of Ohio that can match that number. How often do we get that? More than 99% of the time. That is our goal. There have been months when we have achieved that 100% of the time. That's the people who do this work. This is still that same agency. So no, we haven't changed. People in Ohio like us. We are still the same. Don't forget that. We put in a new system. There are always going to be snags with the new system. We underestimated the number of customers who would not understand that system. I take that. I'm the director, the buck stops with me. I take that. Can't go back in time. You have my word. We're going to do everything we can. If you have an invoice that is incorrect, I don't care if you got that invoice 2 months ago, I don't care if you paid it. You need to get in touch with us. We have to work with you. We have to figure out how that happened. You have to show us where you came in. We can talk through that. We will take care of you. And for those who have the invoices, who are sitting at home and looking at it and saying, gosh darn, this is not right. I didn't travel that far. Don't worry. We will take care of you. For those who are calling us, doing the right thing by calling us, doing the right thing by wanting to pay their bill, pay their fare, and saying, I'm not going to wait 2 hours, don't wait 2 hours. I don't want your life to be negatively impacted like that. You got better things to do. Don't wait 2 hours. Hang up the phone, go online, enter the information. We'll get back in touch with you. And if you're concerned that you're going to get dinged with late fees and collections, no, you're not. No, you're not. We are suspending that until we get all this figured out and we are at steady state again.
Good,
Thank you.
that's all I got.
All right?
Let me just-
Thank you.
Actually, if you can just sit there